Now, just a week ago, the top-ranked men's singles player from India, Sumit Nagal, had rued his financial status, thus throwing light on a larger issue that we have always brushed under the carpet. Nagal's Asiad singles campaign also, unfortunately, not going the distance. He lost in the quarterfinals to China's Zhizhen. Just why is India not able to produce a singles champion? And we spoke to someone who had supported him, someone who till date is the last Indian men's singles player to have won an Asian Games gold in the singles event, Somdev Devarman, who told us the best decision he had made was to leave India and play tennis abroad. And that tennis is indeed a lonely sport, with only a few making it, after years of struggle and sacrifices, of course. A thought that was also voiced by none other than the #1 tennis player in the world, Novak Djokovic, as well, just some months ago. It doesn't take more than horse sense to tell that there are many basic issues that the tennis setup in the country itself is grappling with. So joining me in Mic Up today from Hangzhou is Sumit Nagal himself. Thank you so much for joining in, Sumit.
Thank you.
All right, the first question I have to ask is, what's the difference between playing Asians that you have and top Americans or even Europeans that you've done over the world?
I think, as a tennis player, I would say tennis is very much based on game styles, or a matchup, you could say. For me, like Americans are big server, big forehands. The thing with Europeans are you can find mix of everything, and Asians are very, very solid returners and very great from the baseline, especially when you play a little bit low or when you play flat to them. So I think you just need to be aware of how you want to play them. That's where I feel like that's the biggest difference, if knowing how to play what players. If you want to know the difference between these guys, like I said, technically wise or tactically wise, this is the difference where one country focus or one continent focus so much on the serve, forehand, come to the net. Europe, you'll find, just because it's so deep into tennis, you'll find so many different type of players. And like the Asians, who are majority of them are very fast movers, very good footwork, and love to play everything below the waist.
Well, you're currently number 161 in the world, breaking into the top 100. How soon do you see yourself making it there, and what are your challenges?
I think if I'm playing the way I'm playing, I should be in a good position to be knocking top 100. Have to say injury free. Have to play the way I'm playing. Have to like the few changes that I made few weeks back, telling myself that be okay with the mistakes. Do not be scared of losing. Do not be scared of failing. Where I felt like a lot of matches or months I was playing, being a little bit scared, saying, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. I cannot miss, I cannot do this, I cannot lose this match. And what was happening was when the matches were getting close, I would make those mistakes because I was just telling myself not to do it, not to do it, not to do it. And I would ended up doing that. So if these 2-3 things I can focus on, staying healthy, playing the right way, and just competing, be in a good mental state, I think I should be okay to be in top 100.
Now, Somdev, of course, was the last top-ranked singles men's player here from India at 62 in the world. Your goal must surely be to better that.
Of course, that's one of my goals. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes, I can. Yeah, go on.
Can you see what it says?
It's inside. I mean, it's the other way, so I can't read it. So you'll have to read it out for us.
So I'll just tell you. So it's Sumit Nagal. That's my name. Okay. It has date of birth, and then it says Project 61.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's been like this for years. That is one of my goals. That's one of my project.
Well, that's incredible. Now, but where can we possibly bridge the gap then?
I think it's a mix of everything. Like I've mentioned earlier, not having the right infrastructure where you go, not having the right coaches in the country, not right coach, not right balls, not right conditions. The knowledge, we lack in the knowledge, we lack in the financial support. We don't have many tournaments. So it's a group of everything, If you want to play tennis and be successful, you need to live abroad. To live abroad, if you start comparing rupees to euros or dollars, you can already see how expensive it gets. And I feel like to get on that stage, to be able to give yourself a chance to earn yourself, if that is maybe at 22, 23, 24, I don't know, that's still at 10, 15 years of investment. that we are spending. Well, like I said, even if you say I spend anywhere in Europe and America, you will spend 70, 80, 90 lakhs, a crore, depending on where you are. So that if you're saying 15 years, I have to invest, that is 13 CR or 14 CR. You tell me how many people are going to do that? Because where is the backup from, right? So that's why then after 18, 19, people start realizing, oh, this is getting impossible now. How me or my family or whatever the help they get from their sponsor are gonna continuously sponsoring you for how many years? They also have to ask themselves. And to get results, sometimes you can get results at 28. You don't know, 27. So that's a big investment for maybe. It's a maybe.
But then, Sumit, what's the reason that India hasn't been able to produce singles champions?
Since I've been learning or playing tennis, I saw my elders talking about this. Then I saw some they're talking about this. Then now it's me who's saying that bring the change, find people. I don't know if what the problem is. I mean, we have the talent, we have the money in the country. So why can't we create tennis players in singles? Like I said, we are talking about singles. Why can't we create singles players? Why do we all have to? I have to live abroad. Ram Kumar has to live abroad. Prajnesh has to live abroad. Balaji is abroad. Somdev lived abroad. Mahesh lived there. Leander lived abroad. Why do we all have to be forced to be outside? Digvijay Singh Pratap living in Madrid. Do you give me name? I will just keep on going. I'll just keep on going. Not one player who's been in top 200. Yuki lived in Florida. Yeah, that's all I can remember. Saki lived in Alabama. So why is what I ask. Why do we not have our association involved and say, listen, let's bring the change? Why? I just don't get it.
Well, it is quite disheartening to hear as well, coming from you, Sumit. But we asked Somdev the same question this when we spoke to him earlier. Is tennis a lonely sport?
So in my experience, in my lifestyle, I have lived 15 years, 17 years outside Delhi, where I had to leave my parents, family, school. So as a kid, that becomes very hard, staying away from everyone. So that, like you said, that's more lonely than individual in my eyes. But then when you travel, you're just traveling with your coach. That's pretty much. Yeah, you get to see your friends here and there in some tournaments, which are very, very few, you would say. But for me, I get 2 weeks to come home in a year. That's only if I'm doing well. So 48, 50 weeks, I'm abroad trying to play tennis. 30, 35 weeks of traveling, and then 10, 15 weeks of training, and then just 2 weeks is what I have. I do, let's say, blame ATP a bit for it. I can believe that they can shorten the Challenger Tour, because if you are playing on the ATP Tour, I understand it's not bad because you finish last week of October or November, depending on if you make it to Masters. But to have the Challenger extended for another month, I believe that's not the right way to go.
Right, some things for them to chew on, but we want to wrap this up on a lighter note. Sumit, one thing, of course, that we remember is your matchup against Roger Federer. What was the learnings from that one?
That you can win points in different ways. The thing with him, a lot of points come with a surprise because you actually don't know what he's gonna do. Of course, he's very talented. He's worked hard. Don't get me wrong, but he's one of those guys who can adapt to a lot of different games style. He can do a lot of different things, and that was one of the biggest strength he had that you needed to know. Or I mean, you wouldn't know what's coming, but you always felt like you're always on your back foot, trying to figure out what is going on, and that's how I felt when I played him.
Well, we're wishing for more such contests to witness. But thank you so much, Sumit, for joining us, and wishing you all the best always.
Thanks.
Thank you.